This is the third track of Norman Lewis words, words from the word list. Uh, let's begin with synthesis. Synthesis means combining of parts to form a whole, building up. The opposite of synthesis is analysis. Analysis is a word which means to break down to simpler components. Deconstruct is a related word. Deconstruction means to analyze or, in fact, analyze differently and come up with a new interpretation while discarding or disproving the earlier one. So, deconstructing a GRE essay topic. You can use this word. We need to deconstruct this issue in order to understand it better and examine the multiple perspectives, while the speaker actually makes a sweeping generalization, and we need to take a dialectic approach. Dialectic approach. Basically, dialectics is examining the pros and cons. Dialectics is actually a method in philosophy to arrive at a better understanding of anything. That is, a thesis is presented. One person could say A is good, that is the thesis. The opposite, the antithesis is A is bad. When both explain their position, we can then build up our knowledge of A and come to a better conclusion about A, and then we understand that A in some circumstances is good and in some it's bad. That is the synthesis. Thesis plus antithesis leading to synthesis, that process is called dialectics in philosophy. So use this phrase, taking a dialectical approach. We need to take, or the speaker fails to take, something like that, because you will get points for vocabulary. Sycophant is a flatterer. Surrogate means a substitute. Proxy, Proxy, proxy means substitute. Surreptitious, secret, sneaky, stealthy. Surfeit, excess, Surfeit. Surfeit means too much. Excess or overindulgence in eating or drinking. Surfeit. Superfluous, unnecessary, redundant, too much. Superfluous. Supercilious, very arrogant, haughty, supercilious attitude, patronizing, condescending, looking down on others. Succumbing, to yield or submit, or to die. Succinct, Succinct, very brief and concise, abbreviated, abridged. Subversive activity. Subversive means to undermine, which means weakening or destroying, ruining, corrupting, overthrowing. That is subversive. Subvert is the verb, subversive is the adjective. Subtle, Subtle, not obvious, very fine, able to make fine distinctions. Subtle can mean hidden, subtle can mean difficult to understand, subtle can mean very cunning, very delicate, very fine. Sukshmam is the Telugu word. Subtlety. Substantive, having substance. Real, essential. Substantial means having importance, weight. Subordinate, secondary, lower in importance. Sublime, awesome, extremely exalted, lofty, majestic. A sublime philosophy, the sublime philosophy of the Bhagavad Gita. Sublime means highly exalted, awesome. Subjugating, to subdue and dominate, to enslave, to bring under one's control. To stymie, Stymie, to obstruct, to hinder, to hamper, to trammel, Trammel, to thwart, Thwart, adduvetadam, blocking, frustrate, to get in the way of. Stringent, very strict. Strife, conflict. Strife, Strife, bitter conflict, discord, struggle, clash, conflict. Stricture, restriction, a limitation. Strictures, negative criticism. The Supreme Court passed strictures on the High Court. That means very strong criticism, negative criticism. Stricture can also mean restriction or limitation. Stratum, layer. Strata is the plural. Stoic. Stoic means very indifferent. Very indifferent and not easily affected, imperturbable, unruffled, unflappable, calm, composed. Stipulating, to require something as a part of agreement. Stipulate means to impose a rule, a condition. Stipulation means a rule. Stigmatize, to defame, to brand with disgrace. Stigmatizing someone means to defame that person, denigrate. Steadfast. Steadfast. I'm a steadfast follower of Vivekananda. Very loyal, very faithful, very firm. Staunch. Staunch. Firmly committed, very loyal. A staunch ship. The Titanic was believed to be a staunch ship. That means waterproof. Staunch has two meanings. Stanch, if you take Stanch, to stanch means to check the flow, to stanch the bleeding. Stanching, stopping, checking. Static, stationary, not moving. Stagnation, motionless. Squandering your time, squandering your wealth, wasting, overspending. Squalor, Squalor, filthy, very wretched, with garbage thrown all around, degraded, repulsive, horrible, dirty. So squalor is the noun, squalid is the adjective. Squalid, filthy. Squalor can mean very dirty, very filthy. It can also mean extreme poverty. Poverty. Spurious, fake. Spurious means fake. Spurious liquor, spurious currency, fake. Some synonyms for fake are apocryphal, bogus, counterfeit, sham, SHAM. Apocryphal, APOCRYPHAL. These are all GRE favorites. Sporadic rainfall, stopping and starting, not continuous. Opposite is incessant. Incessant means continuous. Specious arguments. Specious, SPECIOUS. False but convincing. Deceptively plausible. Specious, the synonyms are casuistry, sophistry, meretricious. Casuistry, casuistry, false but convincing. Sophistry, false but convincing. Meretricious. Meretricious has two meanings. Meretricious sounds like it's a positive word because of the sound merit in it, but actually it's a very negative word. Meretricious means like a prostitute. Makeup, too much makeup and looking like a prostitute, like a call girl. Very tawdry, very garish, very gaudy, cheap and flamboyant, and not in good taste. That's one meaning of meretricious. A meretricious argument is false but convincing. So, casuistry, specious, sophistry. A sophist, by the way, SOPHIST. A sophist is a person who is so good at rhetoric that he can convince anyone about anything. So he is a dangerous person. So he will use a lot of false reasoning to convince you. Spawn, SPAWN. Spawning means producing children to bring forth, but it's always used in a negative sense. Sordid, SORDID. Corrupt, filthy, very vile, sordid affair. Tsar did lot of corruption. Soporific, sleep inducing. Solicitous, eager and attentive, often to the point of hovering, anxiously caring, attentive. Your parents are solicitous about your health. But solicit is a word with two meanings. Solicit means request. Solicit also means a call girl seeking customers. So please don't put this word on your wedding card. Sobriety, sober, that means very serious and sedate and all that. Sloth, laziness. Slandering, to gossip and try to defame someone. Singular, unique, servile, SERVILE. Very slavish, subservient, obsequious. Serendipity, accidental good fortune, fortuitous. Sequester, to set apart or keep apart. Sentient. Sentient means something that can be known through the senses. Insentient means unconscious. Sedition, deshadroham, treason. Scrutinize, examine very carefully. Scrupulous, very careful, very strict, taking all details into account. And scrupulous can also mean very honest because scruple means a moral principle. Scintillating, sparkling, either literally or figuratively. That means a scintillating performance is very impressive. Scintillating, diamonds are scintillating, that means sparkling. Sardonic, SARDONIC, mocking, scornful, very sort of, sarcastic, vitriolic. Sanguine, cheerful. Sanctimonious, pretending to be very devotional and religious, hypocritical piety. Salutary, healthful. Salutary means good for health. Salient, major, leaping, conspicuous, sticking out, salient feature, major. Sagacious, very wise and discerning. Sage means a wise man. Sacrosanct, holy, sacred. Sacrilege, violating something holy. Blasphemy. Sacrilegious means indulging in blasphemous conduct. Saccharine, very sweet, excessively or disgustingly sweet. Saccharine talk, that means trying to use sweet talk somebody. Sweet talk someone. Saccharine. We'll stop here.